I am convinced grocery store loyalty cards know too much. You buy one weird item one time and suddenly the store starts making assumptions about your entire personality. You buy a giant bag of shredded cheese and now every coupon is nachos, taco shells, and maybe quietly a pamphlet about cholesterol. You buy allergy meds once in May and the app is like, "Hey buddy, ragweed season is coming. We've been worried about you." You buy dog food for your neighbor and suddenly the grocery store thinks you're deeply committed to Labrador wellness. And here's the strange part. The store does not necessarily need your name in that exact moment. It has a number, a pattern, a little trail of Peter bought this, then this, then this. And one purchase is not a biography, but a lot of purchases, that starts to become a story. And that's where this becomes a school privacy episode, because in the classroom, we sometimes do a safer version of this on purpose. We remove a student's name. We use student A, group 3, or maybe a private number only the teacher understands. That's better, but it's not magic. A number plus repeated details can still become a profile. Student 4258 is not a name. But if student 4258 keeps collecting grades, missing work, behavior notes, health details, family situations, and writing samples, then student 4258 starts to look less like a code and more like a student. So today's episode is about the pause before we paste. Not panic, not hype, not legal advice from a guy with a microphone and too many tabs open. Just a classroom routine. Check the lane, share less, redact first, use private codes carefully, and remember, the pause is the point. Compliant does not mean careless. I'm Peter Weise, and this is Science Weise, a practical podcast for secondary teachers trying to make good classroom decisions in a world where AI tools are suddenly everywhere. Today, we're talking about privacy and safety with Google Workspace for Education, and really with any AI tool that now has school, business, or education versions. Google is our main example today because many districts live in Google Workspace, but the routine is bigger than Google. And before anybody panics, this is not an episode called Never Use Technology Again and Return to Chalk. Also, it's not an episode called The Tool Says It's Fine, so paste the entire gradebook. We're aiming for a useful middle. Google Workspace for Education can support safer school use, district-approved tools matter, school-managed accounts matter, especially now that AI tools like Gemini are being built directly into our daily workflow. But our habits still matter. So the big idea today is simple. Privacy is not a warning slide. Privacy is a routine. Before we get to the routine, we need to survive the acronym swamp because school privacy has a lot of capital letters. FERPA, PPRA, COPA, HIPAA. It's like someone spilled alphabet soup into a policy binder. So, plain teacher language here. FERPA is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. In classroom terms, think student educational records and personal identifiable information, grades, schedules, discipline records, services, any information connected directly to a student's school identity. PPRA is the Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment. Think students and family rights about certain surveys, sensitive personal questions, and some kinds of student information collection. COPA is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Think services collecting information from children under 13. And HIPAA is the Health Insurance Portability Accountability Act. In schools, HIPAA can be more conditional. It deals with protected health information in covered health context. So the safer teacher move is this. Do not copy-paste health-related student information into tools. Follow your district guidelines. Now, do you need to become a privacy lawyer before second hour? Please do not add that to your prep period. The classroom version is this. If the information connects to student identity, grades, services, health, family, disciplines, or sensitive personal situations, pause before you paste it anywhere. That pause is the whole episode. Now here's the nuance. Google Workspace for Education is designed to support safer school use. Google says its educational core services support compliance with major privacy requirements, and that matters. That is one reason districts use managed systems. A school account is different from a random personal account. A district-approved tool is different from some website I found at 11:47 p.m. while trying to make a worksheet. And this is not just a Google issue. Other AI platforms also have different versions with different protections. For example, OpenAI has ChatGPT Edu and ChatGPT for Teachers, which are different from a personal ChatGPT account. OpenAI says ChatGPT for Teachers includes education-grade protection, FERPA-aligned protections, a student data privacy agreement, and admin tools for schools and district leaders. OpenAI says it does not train on organization data by default in products like ChatGPT for Teachers, ChatGPT Edu, ChatGPT Business, ChatGPT Enterprise, and the API. That matters, but it does not change the routine. A school or education version may give us a safer lane, it may give admins more control, it may change how data is handled, but it still does not mean paste everything. A personal account is different from a school-managed account. A teacher workspace is different from a student account. A district-approved tool is different from random websites. And even inside a protected workspace, the question is still the same. What is the least private version of this information that still gets the job done? The same is true inside Google. If Gemini is being used inside a covered school-managed Google Workspace context, Google says those chats and uploaded files are not used to train public models without permission. That matters too, but the exact protections depend on the account, the service, the settings, and whether you are using connected third-party tools. So, if you open a personal tab and paste a student's essay into a free public AI tool, that's a different situation. That tool might be operating under different terms. It might be using data differently. And even if it's useful is not the same thing as appropriate. But, and this is an important but, compliance language is not a permission slip. It does not mean paste everything. It does not mean every connected app has the same protections. It does not mean screenshots are always fine. It does not mean student health details are now casual prompt seasoning. That is not how any of this works. The tool matters. The account matters. The settings matter. The specific agreement with your school matters. They can be different from school to school. The exact service matters. And what we put into the tool matters. This is where we need that line. Compliant does not mean careless. A platform can support safe use, and a person can still overshare. A system can have protections, and a copied paragraph can still contain too much. A school account can lower risk, and a teacher can still paste information the tool never needed. So instead of asking, is this tool good or bad, we ask a better question. What is the least private version of this information that still gets the job done? That's the privacy move. That's the routine. There are 3 moves I want to make practical today. Check the lane, redact first, use private codes carefully, not because that solves every privacy question forever, it does not, but because it gives teachers and students a repeatable habit, and repeatable habits matter more than warning slides. Move 1 is the 2-lane rule. And no, this is not a traffic lesson, although honestly, some classroom tech decisions do feel like merging onto a freeway in a snowstorm in February. But here's the short version. Lane 1 is district-approved, school-managed, and used within district guidance. That's where instruction should live when students and teachers are using school tools. Lane 2 is everything else. Personal accounts, random websites, browser extensions, non-approved tools, third-party apps where you don't really know the terms. That one tool a student found because it promised to make school easy, which is usually a phrase that should make every teacher's left eye twitch. Lane 1 is safer. Lane 1 is preferred. Lane 1 is the right starting place, but Lane 1 is not magic. It lowers the risk. It does not eliminate judgment. Lane 2 is generic examples only. No student names, no student numbers, no gradebook screenshots, no IEP paragraphs, no discipline notes, no family situations, no health information, no, here's the full student situation, please tell me what to do. If you're unsure of what lane you are in, treat it like lane 2. That's not fear, that's a seatbelt. Here's a math example. A student wants help with a problem. They share the problem with their own attempt. They should not upload a screenshot that shows their grade, another student's work, teacher comments, accommodations, or a gradebook tab in the background. Social studies, a student might be writing about a public issue, a local controversy, family history, religion, politics, or identity. That doesn't mean every private detail belongs in a tool. Use public sources, use a generalized scenario, use a fictionalized version if needed. The tool needs enough context to help with the learning task. It does not need the whole private story. So move 1 is simple. Check the lane. Move 2 is about stripping away the accidental biography before you hit submit, because that is often what we accidentally create. Not just a prompt, a tiny biography, a student name, a class period, a grade, a behavior detail, a family detail, a health detail, a quote from a personal narrative, a screenshot with 3 other tabs open in the background, and suddenly you have given the tool much more than it needed. So if you are using an AI tool to help differentiate a reading passage, generate feedback on a rough draft, or brainstorm a reteaching plan, make it a habit to clean the text first. Delete the student's name. Delete the name of your school. Delete the name of the city if the tool doesn't need it. Delete highly specific personal anecdotes. Delete family details. Delete health details. Delete behavior details unless they're absolutely needed. And even then, generalize. Replace specifics with placeholders like student, class, city, group, a ninth grade student, a student who missed the learning target on this skill. If the AI does not need a specific identity to give you a good strategy, don't give it the detail. So let's make that concrete. Here's a risky version. Marcus Johnson, 10th grade, failed the stoichiometry quiz, has anxiety accommodations, and his mom emailed me last night. Write some feedback for him. That prompt has way too much in it. It has a name. It has assessment information. It has accommodation-related information. It has family contact context, and most of that is not needed. So a safer version would be a 10th grade chemistry student missed the learning target on mole ratios. Suggest a short reteaching plan. That's usually enough. The tool does not need to know the student's name. It does not need to know the parent emailed. It does not need the full story. It needs the learning problem. In science, this might show up in a CER. A risky prompt might say, my partner Jaden messed up the hot water trial and our group got yelled at. Here's our data table with our names. Write my CER. So, safer prompt would be, a high school chemistry group collected reaction time data and 3 temperatures. The trend shows a faster reaction time at a higher temperature, but one trial is an outlier. Ask me questions that help me improve my claim, evidence, and reasoning. Don't write the CER for me. That safer version keeps the science. It removes the group drama, it removes the partner's name, and it keeps student ownership because the student is asking for coaching, not a finished answer. In ELA, the same habits matter. If a student is writing a personal narrative, they might have real names, real family situations, real conflict, or someone else's story inside that draft. That does not automatically belong in a tool. The student might still ask for feedback on structure, tone, clarity, or whether the opening creates tension, but they first need to remove names and private details or use the fictionalized version. The writing goal can stay, the private details do not have to. The best data to protect is the data you never need to share in the first place. So move 2 is redact first. Finally, remember our grocery store loyalty card? If you use private codes like calling someone student A or using an internal number, that can be a good privacy move. It's better than a name. It's better than a district student number. It can help you track patterns when continuity actually matters. But it's not magic. If you paste a behavior log for student 4258 on a Monday and an accommodations list for student 4258 on a Wednesday and a specific writing sample for student 4258 on a Friday, you are building a profile in the cloud. That's the grocery loyalty card problem. A number is safer than a name, but the same number keeps collecting grades, missing work, behavior notes, health details, family situations, assessment patterns, and classroom details. The number starts to carry a story. Student 4258 is better than a name, but student 4258 can still become a bucket collecting information. So the question is not just, did I hide the name? The question is, am I building a profile I do not need to build? If I can connect student 4258 back to a real student, then it's not fully anonymous. It's pseudonymized. That's a fancy word and kind of difficult for me to say, but the idea is simple. The name is hidden, but the connection still exists somewhere. So private codes do lower the risk. They do not remove responsibility. Use codes for isolated tasks. Use codes when continuity actually matters. Keep the key secure. Don't paste the key into an AI tool. Don't use the code as an excuse to attach every detail you know. And if continuity does not matter, don't use the code at all. Just say a student, a lab group, a ninth grade writer, a student working on mole ratios. That's usually enough. So the routine is simple. Check the lane, redact first, use private codes carefully, and when in doubt, share less. And here's the part we cannot skip. Students need this routine too, because if privacy only lives in a policy document, students will not practice it. And honestly, adults barely practice things that only live in policy documents. No offense to the policy documents, some of them are doing their best, but students need a move they can actually use. So this does not need to be a full day lesson. It can be 5 minutes. Put a risky prompt up on the screen, like my friend Alex got in trouble in class and told me about their family situation. I'm writing about it for my essay. Make it sound more dramatic. Then ask students, what should not be shared? They'll probably find the obvious one first, Alex's name. Good start. Good. Start there. Then push them a little. Is the discipline situation theirs to share? Is the family situation theirs to share? Does the AI tool need any of that to help with the writing skill? No. And so now we rewrite it. I am writing a fictionalized personal narrative about a school conflict. Give me feedback on whether the opening creates tension and makes this central problem clear. Don't rewrite it for me. Now the learning need is still there. The private details are gone. The student still gets the feedback, and nobody's personal life becomes prompt seasoning. That's the student version of this routine. Keep the learning need, remove the identity, and if it's not your story, don't paste it. This is not an anti-AI statement. It's a respect statement. It's also a digital citizenship statement. And honestly, it's an adult life statement. We all need this habit. Most privacy mistakes do not start because someone is trying to be reckless. They start because someone is moving fast. Copy, paste, submit, share, upload. And then we later realize that probably did not need to be in there. So we slow the moment down. Not forever, just enough to ask, what does this tool actually need? What can I remove? What belongs to somebody else? What should stay private? That's the student routine. Keep the learning need, remove the identity. Let's name a few traps. Trap number 1, the tool says it's compliant, so I can trust it with everything. Nope. Compliance may support safe use under right conditions. It does not replace judgment. The fix is use the approved tool, use the school account, follow district guidance, and still share less. Trap number 2, it's a school account, so everything is fine. Also note, a school account matters. It lowers the risk. It gives us a safer lane, but the tool still only needs what the tool needs. Trap number 3, I remove the name so it's anonymous. Maybe, but maybe not. A name is one clue. It's not the only clue. Grade level, class period, a unique situation, a quote from a small class, a specific family detail, those can stack up, and suddenly the mystery student is not very mysterious. There's the grocery loyalty card again. One purchase is not a biography, but enough little details start to tell a story. Trap number 4, my private number system makes it anonymous. It helps. It's better than a name. It's better than a district student number. But if you can reconnect the number to a student, then it's still connected. Student 4258 is not a name. But if student 4258 keeps collecting grades, accommodations, writing samples, and behavior notes, student 4258 starts to become a profile. Private codes do lower the risk. They do not remove the responsibility. And trap number 5, privacy means we should never use AI. That's not the point either. Privacy is not anti-technology. Privacy is what lets us use technology with trust. The goal is not fear. The goal is a routine. So here's the try it this week. Run a 5-minute privacy routine with the students. That is it. 5 minutes. Put a risky prompt on the board. Have students circle what should not be shared. Then have them sort details into 3 categories. Okay to share, ask first, do not share. Then rewrite the prompt so the learning question still stays, but the private details leave. If you want to make it really simple, use this sentence frame. I need help with blank, but don't include blank. For example, I need help improving the reasoning in my CER, but do not include my partner's name or a group conflict. Or, I need feedback on opening up my narrative, but don't include any real names or private family details. Or, I need help finding the error in this math prompt, but do not include my grade or a screenshot from the gradebook. It's practical, it's teachable, it's 5 minutes. And it's more useful than just saying, be careful online, which is true, but also about as specific as saying make good choices and then walking away. So before you prompt, pause. What lane am I in? Is this district-approved school managed tool, or is this lane 2? What information am I sharing? Can I redact it? Can I generalize it? Do I need a private code, or can I just say a student? And if I use a private code, am I accidentally building a profile over time? That is the grocery loyalty card lesson. One scan might not say much, but repeated details become a story. So in the classroom, share the least identifiable version that still gets the job done. Google Workspace for Education can support safer school use. District-approved tools matter. School-managed accounts matter. But our habits still matter. Compliant does not mean careless. Privacy is not a warning slide. Privacy is routine.